So the story of Thanksgiving is a very fascinating one because there was a partnership there, and they wanted to give thanks to the Lord for the partnership and for them making it through the hardest years. Now, I tell that story so that we understand that there were those that weren't necessarily military that sacrificed their lives for our liberty. It goes beyond just our military. Not that I'm saying anything less about our military in the past. Like I said, I served in the Navy, and I tell you what, every veteran who has served, who signed that dotted line, whether they are a combat veteran or not, deserves our respect because they signed on that dotted line a blank check worth their life for your liberty.
Amen.
So they all should be honored. They all should be thanked. I remember the first time someone thanked me for my service and I was speechless. I actually did not know how to respond. I just nodded and, kind of tipped my hat and off I went. It was such an emotional moment for me. I didn't know how to respond. But anyway, so we've got this history, this religious freedom, these pilgrims who want to spread the gospel. They were a godly group. They held church every week and during the week, and they had Bible studies. And then something happened. Heard of the second law of thermodynamics? The way that one runs is if something's left to its own devices, it's just natural, the universe, it goes to entropy. In other words, it goes from order to disorder if left alone. And it's destined to do that. That's what everything does. Everything goes from order to disorder if it's left alone. It takes something to interfere to stop that entropy. So like culture that we see even today, the culture began to deteriorate. It went from order to disorder, and eventually what happened was the next couple generations, they didn't appreciate the values, the foundational principles of the principles in the early settlers, their version of the greatest generation. And they began to wonder why less people were coming to church, and the pastors in Massachusetts got together and because they wanted to fill the pews.